Hi everyone, this is Julie from Working While Homeschooling, and today on our What Works For Me Wednesday video series, I wanted to share with you something that has really worked for me, and that's to do a monthly business meeting with myself. I took this idea from the corporate world, so if you're in a large corporate office, you're probably going to have that monthly staff meeting or whatever it is. And so since I'm a solo entrepreneur, my staff meeting is me, myself, and I. So yes, I have a monthly meeting with myself, and I wanted to kind of show you what I do and what that entails. So the first step of this, and you will recognize this page if you've had my calendar planner system or my working goals journal. This is my self-business meeting monthly goals journal page. So I do this once a month. The top half, I'm reviewing the previous month. So I just journal about what worked, what didn't, frustrations, successes, obstacles, whatever it might be, kind of just where I'm at in the process right here. This is just personal reflection, kind of processing the previous month. And then the bottom half here you see is my personal growth moving forward. So I take, after reviewing the previous month, I look ahead to the next month. So since today is May 1st, I'm looking ahead toward the month of May. And based on what happened last month, what do I want to focus on this month? And what projects do I want to focus on? Where do I want my mindset to be? That's down here at the bottom half. This journaling exercise, guys, I've probably been doing for 10 or 15 years. It is the one activity that I've done that has truly propelled me forward. And it seems so easy. It's mind-blowing how well this works. So again, one page of just journaling, self-reflection, and then kind of processing, planning, moving ahead. This is my kind of front page of my calendar for the month of May. You get the big monthly black box up here. And most of this was already filled in for me. Of course, as you schedule something, you just kind of go ahead and add it to your calendar. So most of this, frankly, was already done for me. I might have to go fill in a few things, but that's about it. Now, right here, these all come blank. So you can actually just type in what you need before you print. I put in my kind of monthly task that I need to do once a month, and I try to get all of the nonsense stuff done on the first day of the month. That's kind of part of this monthly business meeting with myself. So these are kind of just regular things to kind of set me up for success for the next month. I wanted to share with you kind of what some of those are. First of all is updating the meal plan calendar. Now I have a paper version of this on the back of that monthly calendar page, but in our house we tend to work on the one that's on the wall in the kitchen, and it's just a typical dry erase board, not very expensive at all. And so honestly, I write myself a task reminder to-do list to go wipe off last month and set it up for May and get it done. And it takes like 5 or 10 minutes, but it's one of those things that if I don't write it down, I don't really do. Now, before I actually erase that, how I'm using this is I actually go through and write down what we did end up eating last month on that calendar. And I actually put these in a particular file over here in my filing system. Why do I do that? And yeah, it does seem like an extra step that's unnecessary. I get that. I do this because when I run out of food ideas and I'm stuck for what to cook that week, I can go back through on previous months and see what I've cooked in the past couple of months. In fact, like for example, this morning, I was like, I don't know what to make for dinner, guys. I'm just not in the mood. I went back through and looked and realized we haven't had hamburgers in like 2 months, which is rare for us. So I can go pull out some meat, defrost it, and boom, we're having hamburgers for dinner tonight. Super easy. To me, I'm using this more of kind of just a reference, but you of course can use it however you like. Once I'm done with kind of the meal plan, I'll then start looking to any of those orders that I place monthly, the food orders, the Amazon orders, any of those, the vitamin orders, kind of all that nonsense that just makes your life run well. Frankly, I try to take some time and get all of that out of the way right now because I don't want to think about it for the rest of the month. And that is one of the little to-do items that I have written right here is basically go place all my orders. So I'll go through and kind of just go chop through my orders really quickly, done on the first day of the month, and I don't have to think about it for the rest of the month. hopefully. Now, once I've done that, I tend to kind of go update all of my calendars. I'm using a paper version of a calendar planner system instead of the computer-based stuff that I used to use. One of the reasons I've moved to this completely is because I've learned through reading a lot of studies, the act of writing things out and kind of doing the manual writing it out helps you remember things better and process that information better than just typing it on your computer, using your smartphones, and so on. And that actually was really surprising to the people who were doing the studies. They just assume, well, oh, phones are so much more efficient. And it's efficient, but it's not necessarily how our brain processing works. So I've taken myself as much as possible off the computer-based programs and onto calendar-based system. Now, of course, being 2021, you can't get off computer-based programs completely. So I still use Cozy as a family calendar. So yeah, I'll take a moment right now and kind of go review Cozy quickly, see what I've listed on my calendar that I haven't told the family about because we share Cozy across the whole family. Or maybe my husband has added stuff to the Cozy that I didn't know about, so I need to update my planner. So I kind of go back and forth with Cozy. I'll go back and forth between my scheduling program that I use where my clients can all schedule themselves for appointments. So I'll make sure I'm not missing any appointments. I'm not double booking myself or triple booking myself. And kind of everything's listed here so I'm up to date. Then once I've done that, I will go through and maybe update any of these extra appointments on the individual days that they go on here on the individual day pages. This doesn't take that long. It's maybe a 10-minute project if I'm lucky. Then, once I have gone through kind of that, I will go look at all my project goals for the year, my annual list of goals that I've made, and then all my project to-do list that I've made for each one of those goals. And I will basically kind of decide, all right, where am I with this individual project? Is there anything that I can do this month that will kind of propel me forward and kind of move through each one of my projects? Some of those projects I maybe pushed off back in February and March because I didn't want to deal with it then. And you know what? It's May. It's about time. I need to kind of add that back in. Or maybe there's stuff that I had on my calendar for April and I just realized I've chosen far too much. I need to push stuff back to June or July. I choose all that right now. And on those, I might go through and pull up just individual to-dos for each of those projects to focus on this month versus the whole project and so on. Now, beyond that, being a solo entrepreneur, I also have to think about like social media and newsletters and kind of that planned reaching out. Any of that kind of stuff that I can pre-schedule, I absolutely do. And so I do take a moment and make sure that I do that on a monthly system. So I hope this doesn't sound like a huge thing because it really isn't. And no, it doesn't all get done on the first day like I'd love for it to do, but it doesn't always work that way. And I will say that, however, this activity of getting together with me, myself, and I once a month and kind of pulling back and giving myself a moment to look at that month from a big picture view versus when you kind of get stuck down in the morass and the mundane and the minutia of the day-to-day grind. I think sometimes things get lost when we do that. And I will tell you guys, over the 10 to 15 years I've been doing this, it has been mind-blowing how wonderful this simple little thing has moved me and propelled me forward toward my goals and grown toward my personal goals, my career goals, and my business goals. So there you go, guys. What works for me Wednesday's activity for today is simply the idea of sitting down with yourself once a month and doing a self-business meeting. A little bit of journaling, updating your calendars, and kind of getting yourself organized with your to-dos and task list. And then reviewing those things that you can kind of process, you can kind of batch in a clump and just get off your plate. I can organize my activities so I'm very, very efficient. And I can get all of that minutia, admin, non-billable hours kind of activity that you still have to do. I can get it done the first day of the month, fingers crossed, and have the rest of 30 days of the month to be work focusing on my billable income producing activities, and nothing falls through the cracks. That's really kind of helped me organize my time and be very, very efficient and productive. but also propel me forward and keep those big idea goals in mind. So that's it for me for Work With Wednesdays this Wednesday. I hope this is helpful. Please list in the comments and the questions. If you have questions about anything you saw today that I can answer for you, or if you have other ideas that work for you, I'd love to hear them as well.